A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wasallam. Today we will study 13th Ruku of Surah An Nahl. Our last Ruku ended with this statement that in every nation a witness will be raised and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be the testifier upon all. At that moment, the testimony will be the true message of Allah Almighty has been decimated to the mankind, which is divulged in the form of the Holy Quran. This is the scripture which encompasses all spheres of life and explains it clearly. For those people who believe in it and practice it, they will have the source of guidance, benediction, and tidings in this book. Let's start today's session of Surah An Nahl, Ruku number 13, with this supplication that may Allah Almighty help us in understanding the Holy Quran by the grace of His beloved Prophet Rahmatul lil Alameen Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna Allaha ya'muru bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'izil qurba. Indeed, Allah Almighty commands for justice and balanced conduct and giving to relatives. وَيَنْهَا عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ, and forbids immorality and bad conduct and oppression. يَعِظُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ, He instructs you so that you may be reminded. Yanha, cease. This verse of Surah An Nahl is a compendious verse and hints at those points which are the basics for establishment of a balanced and an exemplary society, in which the rights of every person are protected. Peace and serenity prevails, and everyone has the opportunity to excel. In this verse, three things are ordered while three others are forbidden. Those acts which are being commanded to be included are: the first one is justice, which means that everyone should be given his due right, and to remove those hurdles which are responsible for the abatement of those rights, so that the grievance are avoided in one's mind. Number two is ihsan, creating balance, benefiting humanity and kindness to Allah's creations. It means to give someone greater than his due right and to accede on one's own alleviated compensation. Another meaning of it is that the person perceive Allah Almighty in every time and consider all his bottlenecks and weaknesses because of the reason of his essence. Thirdly, to have a good conduct with the family, close relatives, far relatives, and neighbors. And the beginning of the justly conduct and benefaction should be from them. The blessings of Allah Almighty upon you should not be restrained to oneself. Rather, they should be used for the welfare of the creatures of Allah Almighty. And the three things which are being prohibited are: first thing is obscenity, which is crossing the limits of decency, showing brazenness and demoralizing attitude, and transgressing the boundaries in illegal matters. The word al-fashai has come against justice, benefaction, and equity. One of the form of vulgarity is to make those things prominent to others which are meant to be concealed. And another form of it is to disclose the bottlenecks of people in other folks. Lewdness is in fact the poison for any society and contaminates the moral values within it. Secondly is the negation of the truthful message. It means that when the true content is conveyed to someone and he fully understands it, even then he does not adhere it and demonstrates estrangement from it. The third thing which is being prohibited is transgression against the right message, that is, for the sake of one's self interest and desires, adopting the way of defiance and rebelliousness. In chapter 7, Surah Al Araf, verse 33, it is mentioned, translation is, say, my Lord has only forbidden immoralities. What is apparent of them? and what is concealed, and sin and oppression without right, and that you associate with Allah that for which He has not sent down any authority, and that you say about Allah that which you do not know. The remedy to avoid the vulgarity and prohibitions is to establish salah, that is, to maintain a strong connection with Allah Almighty. The purpose behind the description of those moral standards is that everyone should remain focused regarding the best purposes of life and do not consider the fulfillment of desires to be the only goal of life. وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ إِذَا أَحَدتُّمْ, and fulfill the covenant of Allah Almighty which you have covenanted. وَلَا تَنْقُضُوا الْأَيْمَانَ بَعْدَ تَوْكِيدِهَا وَقَدْ جَعَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ عَلَيْكُمْ كَفِيلًا, and do not break oaths after their affirmation, while you have made Allah Almighty over you as guarantor. Inna Allah ya'lamu ma taf'alun. Indeed, Allah Almighty knows what you do. Tawqidiha, endorsed. After the description of these moral standards in the previous verse, it is important that everyone should fulfill his pledge. While contemplating on the Holy Quran, we find various types of vows, from which two are discussed in this verse. The primordial type is the covenant between Allah Almighty and the person. This is the pledge we made before our arrival to this world, and it has been disclosed in chapter 7, Surah Al-Araf, verse 172 and 173. Translation is, and when your Lord took from the children of Adam, from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify of themselves, saying to them, am I not your Lord? They said, yes, we have testified. Lest you should say on the day of resurrection, indeed, we were of this unaware. Or lest you say, it was only that our forefathers associated others with Allah before, and we were but descendants after them. Then would you destroy us for what the falsifiers have done? Similarly, in each prayer, when we read Surah Al-Fatiha in its 4th and 5th verse, we make the pledge. Translation is, it is you we worship, and it is you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path. The second form is the covenant of people with other people, and in which Allah Almighty is declared as surety. Its adherence is also a compulsion. However, compliance to the vows is mandatory whether it is made with Allah Almighty or other people. The deviation from the covenants is the basis of ruining any society. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّتِي نَقَضَتْ غَزْلَهَا مِنْ بَعْدِ قُوَّةٍ أَنْكَاثًا, and do not be like that who fragmented the yarn after it was twisted firmly. تَتَّخِذُونَ أَيْمَانَكُمْ دَخَلًا بَيْنَكُمْ أَنْ تَكُونَ أُمَّةٌ هِيَ أَرْبَى مِنْ أُمَّةٍ. You make your oaths as the way of ingression between you, so that one party thrives compared to other party. Innama yablukumullahu bih. Indeed, Allah Almighty tests you with it. Wala yubayyi nanna lakum yawmal qiyamati ma kuntum fihi takhtalifun, and will make it clear upon you in the day of resurrection on which you are deviating. The first underlined word is ghazlaha, spin, ankasan, untwisted strands. O people, while complying oaths, your condition should not be like that of a woman who twirled the threads with hardship to make a strong one, and then made it into untwisted strands with her own hands. Your covenants and sayings should be a source of peace and tranquility in the society. Therefore, do not make them the causal of aberrance and hypocrisy, to compete others in affluence, false pride, and authority by violating oaths. Allah Almighty tests you with those oaths and explain you clearly so that you may get the advice from it. Remember, in all those matters in which you are differentiating, Allah Almighty will make them clear on the day of resurrection. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَا جَعَلَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah Almighty willed, would make you a single community. وَلَكِنْ يُضِلُّ مَن يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ. And He deviates whoever wants it and guides whoever wants it. وَلَا تُسْأَلُنَّ أَمَّا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And you will be asked about the actions you are performing. Latus alunna, surely you would be questioned. O reader of the Quran, if you have any doubt that why everyone is different from other and why they are not in the same way, then remember, if Allah Almighty had willed, everyone would have been the similar. But He did not do so because of His wisdom. He has given everyone the insight of good and evil and the choice of selection, whether he adopts the right course or moves in the evil way. In chapter 91, Surah Ash-Shams, verse 8, 9, and 10, it is given, translation is, and inspired it, its wickedness, and its righteousness. He has succeeded who purifies it, and he has failed who instills it. We have been given freedom in the selection of path, and in this way we are responsible for our actions. In chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 256, it is mentioned there is no compulsion in the religion. The right course has become clear from the wrong. So whoever disbelieves in Taghut and believes in Allah Almighty has grasped the most trustworthy handhold with no break in it. And Allah Almighty is hearing and knowing. وَلَا تَتَّخِذُوا أَيْمَانَكُمْ دَخَلًا بَيْنَكُمْ. And do not make your oaths among you as mean of deceit. Fata zilla qadamum bada sabutiha wa tazuku su'a bima sadattum an sabilillah, lest a step slips away after it was firm, and you would taste evil for what you diverted from the way of Allah Almighty. Walakum azabum azim, and for you a great chastisement. For the zilla, lest should slip. In this verse, it has been reiterated that how the violation of pledges can be grievous for a society and would result in outbreak of disharmony and discord. By this evil practice, there is possibility that our steady feet may tangle and some calamity strikes upon us. And the reason might be that we restrained ourselves from the told by Allah Almighty, or we moved against that. In such situation, definitely a calamity would strike us. One of its possible form can be a civil war or disharmony in the society, because in such community where there is no regard for the covenants, it will never get stability nor any peace or harmony. وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ سَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. And do not exchange Allah's covenant for a small price. إِنَّمَا إِنْدَ اللَّهِ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Indeed, what is with Allah Almighty is better for you, if you could know. Ma indakum yanfadu wa ma indallahi baqin. Whatever you have will end, and what Allah Almighty has is lasting. Wala naziyanna lazina sabaru ajrahum bi ahsani ma kanu ya'malun. And we will surely give reward to those who were patient according to the best they used to do. Yanfadu would be exhausted. The most important pledge is the one which is covenanted by us with Allah Almighty. In chapter 9, Surah At-Tawbah, verse 111, that pledge has been mentioned, which Allah Almighty had made with the righteous. Translation is, indeed, Allah Almighty has purchased from the believers their lives and their properties. In exchange for that, they will have paradise. They fight in the cause of Allah Almighty. So they kill and are killed. True promise upon him in the Torah and the Gospel and the Quran. And who is truer to his covenant than Allah Almighty? So rejoice in your transaction which you have contracted, and it is that which is the great attainment. And now, whoever uses the pledge for the sake of his own interest, he is damaging himself. Would that he may know that adherence to this oath will bring those benedictions that are incomparable with the worldly benefits. Because whatever we accrue against this covenant will end. But whatever we earn while adhering to this oath will be lasting. In chapter 38, Surah Swat, verse 54, it is mentioned, indeed, this is our provision, for it there is no depletion. But it will be bestowed upon those who adhere to the ordainment of Allah Almighty and His Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam with affection and passion. Man amila salihan min zakarin aw unsa wa huwa mu'minun falanuhyiyannahu hayatan tayyiba. Whoever does righteous deeds, whether male or female, while he is a believer, then we will cause him to live a good life. Wala naziyannahum ajrahum bi ahsani ma kanu ya'malun. And surely we will give them their reward according to the best they used to do. Wala nuhyiyannahu, then surely we give him life. And now the one who adheres to the right path and perform those tasks which not only benefit himself but also benefit other creatures of Allah Almighty, he will be given a pleasant life by Allah Almighty on behalf of those pledges. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So when you read Quran, seek refuge in Allah Almighty from the Satan, the rejected. إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَهُ سُلْطَانٌ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. Indeed, he does not have any authority over those who believe and put their trust in their Lord. Karata, you study. The fulfillment of the pledge of Allah Almighty can only be realized by practicing the Holy Quran. Therefore, O reader of the Quran, whenever you study it, seek protection of Allah Almighty. Otherwise, Satanism will surround you, the self-interest and the transgressed forces will hinder you strongly. These subversive forces, whether they are external or internal, cannot control those people who have totally rely in Allah Almighty. Innama sultanahu alallazina yatawallawna. His authority is only over those who befriend him. Wallazina hum bihi mushrikun, and those who assign partners with him. Sultanuhu, his authority. The authority of Satan can only be over those who consider him as their friend and ally. These are the people who have been deceived by the conspiracies of Satan, and they are debating others as well. In chapter 8, Surah Swat, verse 82 and 83, it is mentioned, Iblis said, by your might I will surely mislead them all, except among them your pure servants. It means that those who have absolutely purified themselves in the way of Allah Almighty are well protected from the schemes of Satan. A summary of the 13th Ruku. Allah Almighty has commanded us for justice, benefaction, good conduct with the relatives, and forbid us from negations of the divine orders and lewdness. The importance of fulfillment of pledges is highlighted, and it includes covenant with Allah Almighty and those made with fellow humans. Their completion is essential whether they are made with a person or some community or have been promised at the country or international level. Everyone has equal rewards for an action, whether it is a male or female. Before the recitation of the Holy Quran, one needs to take refuge in Allah Almighty against the Satan. so that we may contemplate on Quran and remain safe from his evil conspiracies. May Allah Almighty help us in understanding the true context of the Holy Quran, and may we act upon it according to the guidance of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Sadaqallahul Aliyul Azim. Sallallahu Ta'ala ala Habibihi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wasallam.